12 Behaviors that Destroy Relationships. Have you ever wondered what's really destroying your relationship, and why things suddenly feel off? Relationships are complicated, but there are certain behaviors that can quietly slip under the radar and cause massive damage before you even realize it. These toxic habits often start small, with just a little tension here and there, but over time, they can create walls that are nearly impossible to break down. In today's video, we're breaking down 12 behaviors that can slowly destroy even the strongest partnerships before you even see it coming. Whether you've been in a relationship for years or are just starting out, knowing these signs is key to protecting your bond. From subtle communication breakdowns to the more obvious signs of disrespect, we'll explore how each behavior works its way into a relationship and how you can avoid them. If you're looking for ways to strengthen your connection, build trust, and create lasting love, this video is for you. Don't let these habits sneak in and ruin something that could be amazing. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could save your relationship from these silent killers. 1. Lack of communication. Communication is the heartbeat of any relationship. Without it, you're walking on shaky ground. At first, a few missed conversations or avoiding difficult topics might seem harmless, but when communication breaks down, it quickly turns into a massive issue. Relationships require constant dialogue, whether it's sharing your day, talking about your emotions, or working through problems together. When communication is lacking, misunderstandings take root, and small frustrations turn into unresolved resentment. The problem is, it's easy to fall into the trap of assuming your partner knows what you need or feel, but nobody is a mind reader, and ignoring the need for honest conversations can leave both of you feeling disconnected and lonely. Think about it. How often do you really listen to each other? Not just speak? Active listening, asking the right questions, and being open to hearing the hard truths are all part of building trust and keeping your relationship strong. If you find yourselves holding back or avoiding tough topics, it's time to make communication a priority. Opening up and staying honest keeps the bond alive and helps you grow as a couple. 2. Constant criticism. Criticism in relationships can often feel like a swift punch to the gut. At first, it might seem like you're just giving helpful feedback, but when it turns into constant criticism, it can be incredibly damaging. No one likes to feel like they're under constant attack, and when you criticize your partner, you're subtly telling them they aren't enough. This can destroy their confidence and make them feel unloved, even if you don't mean to hurt them. Healthy feedback is meant to help, but if you find yourself repeatedly pointing out flaws or focusing only on your partner's shortcomings, you're missing the point of partnership. The key here is to approach problems with a constructive mindset. Instead of saying, "You never do anything right," try saying, "I feel frustrated when this happens. Can we talk about it?" This approach encourages cooperation, not conflict. Also, remember that no one is perfect. A relationship isn't about pointing out flaws but about building each other up and supporting one another to be better. Balance the critique with love and appreciation. Remember to notice the good things. 3. Disrespect. Respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, and without it, things can spiral out of control quickly. Disrespect isn't always obvious, either. Sometimes it comes in the form of dismissive comments, mocking, or even just ignoring your partner's thoughts and feelings. When you disregard your partner's perspective or belittle their ideas, it tells them they don't matter, and that can be emotionally crushing. Imagine being in a space where your feelings are invalidated or your dreams aren't supported. Eventually, that negativity seeps in and creates emotional distance. Small actions, like talking over them, rolling your eyes when they speak, or using hurtful sarcasm, may seem trivial, but over time, they can chip away at the foundation of your relationship. True respect means valuing your partner's opinions, being considerate of their emotions, and always treating them with kindness even when you disagree. A relationship without respect is built on a shaky foundation, and it won't take long before it all starts to crumble. Make sure you're always showing respect in your words and actions. 4. Withholding affection. Affection is more than just physical touch, it's the emotional glue that holds a relationship together. When affection starts to disappear, it can be a silent killer of intimacy. Withholding affection, whether it's a hug, a compliment, or just quality time, can feel like emotional withdrawal. When you're angry or hurt, it may feel easier to pull away, but doing so only deepens the distance between you and your partner. Withholding affection as a form of punishment or control doesn't solve problems, it exacerbates them. Partners need reassurance, connection, and closeness to feel loved, and when that's taken away, it leaves them feeling rejected or abandoned. Think about how you'd feel if your partner stopped showing affection over time. You'd likely start questioning the relationship's strength. Affection, whether verbal or physical, is an essential part of healthy attachment. If you found yourself withholding affection, ask yourself why. Are you upset? Or are you simply avoiding the deeper emotional work that needs to be done? Reconnect with your partner through small gestures sometimes. A simple touch or a heartfelt compliment can bridge the gap. 5. Dishonesty. Dishonesty, no matter how small, is like a crack in the foundation of your relationship. At first, a little white lie may seem harmless. Maybe you fib about how your day went, or you hide a minor detail to avoid conflict, but over time, those small lies pile up and erode trust. The more you lie, the more you set the stage for doubt and suspicion to creep in. Once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild, and the damage done by dishonesty can be irreparable. Relationships are built on truth, and if that foundation is compromised, the connection weakens. If your partner discovers the truth, it can lead to feelings of betrayal, anger, and confusion. The key to overcoming dishonesty is transparency. It's better to face tough conversations head-on than to risk hiding the truth. If you find yourself lying or hiding things, ask yourself why. Is it fear of conflict, or a deeper issue? True intimacy can only flourish when both partners feel safe to be completely honest with one another. Choose truth, and let trust be your relationship's strongest pillar. 6. Jealousy. While a small amount of jealousy can be normal in any relationship, excessive jealousy can lead to toxic behavior. When you feel constantly threatened by outside influences, whether it's another person, a job, or even social media, it can turn into a control issue that suffocates the relationship. Instead of feeling secure in the love you share, jealousy makes you question everything, and it creates unnecessary conflict. This behavior can lead to spying, accusations, or even attempts to control where your partner goes or who they interact with. Trust is the antidote to jealousy, and it's essential to cultivate it in a healthy relationship. When you allow jealousy to take over, you're essentially saying that you don't believe in the strength of your connection. Instead of allowing jealousy to grow, focus on building your self-esteem, communicating openly about your insecurities, and supporting each other's independence. Healthy relationships are based on trust and mutual respect, not fear and control. If jealousy is taking over, it's time to confront it and re-establish the foundation of trust. 7. Lack of accountability. In any relationship, both partners are responsible for their actions. Avoiding accountability, however, can cause resentment and stagnation. If you find yourself always blaming your partner for everything that goes wrong, or never owning up to your own mistakes, you're creating an unhealthy dynamic. Accountability shows maturity and emotional growth. It's about recognizing when you're wrong, apologizing sincerely, and working toward improvement. When both partners take responsibility for their actions, it creates a sense of fairness and balance in the relationship. Failing to do so can result in one person constantly feeling like they're doing all the emotional heavy lifting, while the other remains indifferent or defensive. A lack of accountability doesn't allow the relationship to grow or heal. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire instead of trying to put it out. If you struggle with admitting fault, reflect on why that is. Are you afraid of being judged, or is there something deeper at play? Take responsibility, apologize, and work together to rebuild trust and understanding. A relationship thrives when both partners are committed to learning, growing, and improving together. 8. Ignoring boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your emotional, physical, and mental well-being in a relationship. When these boundaries are ignored, disrespected, or violated, it creates a toxic environment that breeds resentment, frustration, and confusion. Everyone has their own comfort zones, whether it's personal space, time for themselves, or how they like to be treated emotionally. When one partner disregards these boundaries, it sends the message that their needs are more important than the other person's. For example, constantly showing up unannounced, pressuring your partner to share personal things before they're ready, or overstepping emotional limits can cause distress. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect for these boundaries. If your partner expresses that they need space or time to process something, honor that request. Likewise, communicate your own needs clearly and without guilt. By recognizing and respecting each other's boundaries, you allow both partners to feel safe and secure in the relationship. It fosters trust and emotional safety, which are crucial for long-term happiness. Ignoring boundaries might seem harmless at first, but in the long run, it can lead to feelings of suffocation and emotional disconnect. Always be aware of your partner's comfort zones. and nurture a space where both of you can be yourselves. 9. Taking each other for granted. In long-term relationships, it's easy to slip into a routine where you assume your partner will always be there, doing what they do without the need for recognition or appreciation. But this is one of the quickest ways to destroy a relationship. When you take your partner for granted, you start to overlook the little things they do, things that make your life easier or better. They may feel invisible, unappreciated, and unimportant. Over time, this builds resentment and emotional distance. Relationships are about mutual care, and that includes showing gratitude for each other. When was the last time you genuinely thanked your partner for something they did, even something small? Expressing gratitude and appreciation can keep the connection strong, whether it's acknowledging their hard work, showing appreciation for their kindness, or just taking a moment to say thank you. These actions matter. It's easy to forget how special your partner is when you're caught up in the daily grind, but never forget that they are a person with their own needs, desires, and emotions. Take the time to show that you notice, care, and appreciate them, and you'll reignite that spark that initially brought you together. 10. Stonewalling, shutting down. When conflict arises, it's normal for emotions to run high, but there's a huge difference between taking a break to cool down and stonewalling, or shutting your partner out entirely. Stonewalling is an avoidance tactic where one partner withdraws from the conversation completely, refusing to engage emotionally or address the issue. This behavior can be incredibly damaging because it leaves the other partner feeling abandoned, unheard, and powerless. Imagine trying to talk about something important to you, only for your partner to shut down, refuse eye contact, or give one-word responses. This creates a sense of emotional isolation and can make both partners feel like they're not on the same team anymore. Stonewalling prevents resolution and can make the conflict feel unresolved, lingering long after the moment has passed. If you're stonewalling, it may be because you're overwhelmed, frustrated, or unsure of how to express yourself, but ignoring the issue only makes it worse. To break the cycle, focus on healthy communication strategies, take breaks if necessary, but come back to the conversation when you're calm and ready to listen. Don't let silence take over, express your emotions, and work together to find a solution. 11. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is one of the most dangerous behaviors in a relationship because it's subtle, often disguised as concern or love. It's when one partner uses guilt, shame, or playing the victim to control the other person's emotions and actions. This can look like guilt-tripping your partner into doing something for you, using silent treatment to punish them, or making them feel responsible for your emotional well-being. Manipulation creates an unhealthy power dynamic where one person is always trying to control the other through emotions. Over time, this causes emotional exhaustion, loss of self-esteem, and fear of making decisions for yourself. It's important to recognize that healthy relationships are based on mutual respect and care, not manipulation. If you feel like you're being manipulated, it's crucial to set clear boundaries and call out the behavior. At the same time, if you're guilty of manipulating your partner emotionally, reflect on why you might be using these tactics. Healthy communication, honesty, and openness are the keys to breaking free from manipulative behavior. Make sure both you and your partner feel safe to express yourselves freely without fear of emotional control or retaliation. 12. Unresolved past issues. Every relationship carries baggage, whether it's past hurts, unresolved conflicts, or emotional scars. But leaving these issues unaddressed can slowly poison your connection. Every time you bring up a past fight, or hold on to old grudges without discussing them, you're dragging unnecessary emotional weight into your present relationship. This prevents both partners from moving forward and creates tension. Unresolved past issues can also lead to unhealthy patterns, like unnecessary jealousy, insecurity, or anger that keeps resurfacing. To move forward, it's essential to confront and address past hurts head-on. Have open, honest conversations about what's bothering you, and don't let grudges fester. This might require vulnerability and forgiveness, but it's the only way to clear the emotional space and build a stronger connection. It's not about forgetting what happened but learning from it and letting it go. Addressing past issues also means accepting that both partners are human and make mistakes. If you hold on to past arguments or mistakes, you're allowing them to control your present. If you truly want a healthy, thriving relationship, you have to be willing to leave the past behind and focus on creating a positive future together.